The views and opinions expressed on Beautiful Disasters are those of the panelists and not those of the Geeks Under the Influence Network, their sponsors, or anyone else involved. Also, there is going to be a lot of adult language used on this podcast, so please keep your little kitties away unless you don't care about them that much.
Welcome back to Beautiful Disasters, Schlock Abuse Edition.
Spooky Schlock Abuse Edition.
We are in the middle of Schlocktober. It is my favorite time of the year. I love all the horror movies. I love all the horror movie podcasts coming out.
There are some amazing horror movies this time of year. Then there's our level of amazing horror movies this time of year too. I don't know, Troll 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no.
Shopping Mall. There's some.
There's a lot of schlock to pick from. And of course, on Schlock Abuse, we are picking the craziest, weirdest, lowest of the dregs stuff.
I think for both of us, we definitely made it spooky. And why would we give each other these movies?
Yeah, this episode and the next will definitely show what we're capable of. So, yes, for this episode, I provided you a classic horror story committed to film. And what was this?
All right. Well, I could say this, and it's going to confuse people, and then we'll add to this specific movie. You gave me Frankenstein.
Oh, man, see? Look how nice I am.
No. Because you didn't give me the classic Frankenstein, black and white,
Well, that's a good film.
Yeah, that's a good film. You didn't even give me the shitty Robert De Niro, Kenneth Branagh directed Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
No.
But you gave me the 1993 TBS movie Frankenstein starring... I'm drawing a blank real quick on the main actor. I guess the main quote unquote actor is Patrick Bergman, who did a lot of 90s shit like Sleeping with the Enemy, and
he was in Patriot Games.
Patriot Games, he was the main bad guy for the IRA.
He was like the head honcho of their split cell.
Okay, but that's not what makes this movie. He's not what makes this movie challenging.
No.
The other star of this.
I didn't buy this sight unseen because of his name.
Yeah. Randy Quaid as the monster. Holy shit. Yeah. So that's.
Holy shit. Yes.
Yeah. So no, this isn't a good Frankenstein movie. This is the TBS movie starring Randy Quaid as the monster Frankenstein movie. Oh God!
So how was it, man?
Actually, there's parts of it that are well shot and stuff. It almost gets into that good bad category. I will admit, there's parts that are It's the first 40 minutes is slow as shit.
All right,
and you're just waiting for fucking. I'll be honest, I don't care about the build up. I'm just like, give me Randy Quaid monster, all right?
Right.
And there's a little bit of build up, and a la he creates the monster, and there he is. And
was there an Igor character?
No, it's a lot of Frankenstein doing this with his fiance. He really involves her in all this shit in this.
Okay, so they didn't have a weird assistant.
Yeah, it was just.
They didn't go there.
They didn't go there. It's just him doing his. It's a lot of him doing test shit on animals, like cats at the beginning of this, and then he. Like a little bit of kind of reanimator, but not really.
Right.
But eventually, he, most people know to the point. Yeah, he creates the monster, and he's like, "All right, so you're gonna be, I'm your dad," and he's like, "Fuck you," and runs off, just like every monster, every Frankenstein one's like, I don't know what Dr. Frankenstein thinks is gonna happen. Like he's gonna high five. No, they fucking get angry and they run off and.
So
now it's the fucking problem because you.
So how is Randy Quaid playing the monster? Like, is he super verbal, or is he like fire bad?
Up and down. A lot of if you were like, man, I want to see a movie where Randy Quaid yells and screams all the time, like he's in pain,
like every movie he's in.
Well,
at some point or another,
times 10, because most of the scenes he's like like just in pain and upset, either physically or some shit's gone down emotionally. Like he's just that's like. They came to him and they were like, Randy was like, how do I prepare for this? And they're like, okay, I'm going to slam this hammer on your toe. The sound that comes out, that's all you have to do for the most part. But then eventually you'll learn to talk, and you'll talk in, I guess the best way I can describe it is like, caveman, but like, a upper class caveman. Like, but you don't need to do that, man. Nobody cares. Like,
see, all I'm thinking now is Phil Hartman, because of course he had the great Frankenstein characters, and then he had like caveman lawyer.
Yeah, I would always put a caveman lawyer, like, you know.
Wow.
Like, but he doesn't. There's a little few differences from the classic one, where he doesn't murder a little girl. He actually saves a little girl from drowning, and the townspeople were like, "You look like a fucking freak," so they start shooting at him. By the way, the makeup is hilarious on him because it looks like burn victim Randy Quaid that grew too much hair in different spots of his face, because it's not consistent. He has like a half beard thing on one side of his face, and like, you know, in his hair, he's bald in one spot. Like they really were like, yeah, he's just a mixture of a guy that had a beard, a guy that didn't have a beard, a guy that had receding hairline, a guy that didn't. It's weird how they like set this up, but Frankenstein keeps like trying to, you know, reconnect with him and stuff like that. He keeps pretty much, finally he figures out, all right, well, you know what I need to fucking do is I need to give him a fucking bride, right? It fast tracks. I think it fast tracks to that, because right before that, now the monster is like, okay, this shit's getting kind of personal and everything like that. Accidentally kills his brother. His brother is coming back and like spooks the horse, and the horse flips over and kills Frankenstein's brother.
Okay.
So Frankenstein is pissed, but he's like, all right, well, I want to trap the motherfucker. Let me give him, you know, dude needs a little hookup, all right? So he decides to take Frankenstein's fiance, hook her up, and then clone her to make the bride. So she's hooked up, and then there's this crazy scene where it's like an embryo that's growing and shit and turning into like a woman.
Okay.
And that's like, okay, this is fucking weird. But then the camera pans up, and there's this fucking spotlight window in his like laboratory, and there's fucking Randy Quaid's monster, who's getting like really excited. I was a little bit worried about that scene, that like he's like, oh yeah, that's gonna be my woman. Like, you know, you were gonna see some Randy Quaid Frankenstein masturbating scene. Like he was gonna be like, oh, this is good.
If that goes any further, it can't be on TNT anymore.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, like and you just hear pounding, but you don't see his hands anywhere.
And it becomes
like,
a Cinemax movie.
Exactly. God damn it. But then the fiance is like, this is too much, and it's like it's hurting her, so she rips everything off. So like mid building up process, the experiment goes wrong, and the embryo like breaks up, and this is like the goriest part of a TBS movie I can say, is that like there's chunks of body parts that are getting drained out through this like fluid thing.
What?
And, like, so you see like just body parts and junk everywhere, and fucking Randy Quaid monster fucking loses his shit. And classic, every Frankenstein movie comes down there and just fucking destroys the laboratory. He's fucking pissed now. He's like, you fucking piece of shit. You were supposed to make me a woman. And then destroys shit and then storms off. And like, and I think Frankenstein's like, all right, well, I guess that's it. Like, there is no, like, we should find him. He's just like, well, I guess he'll just do his own thing. I created a monster and he's gone. So, oh well.
I feel like we have to address the fact that not only has the Patrick Bergen Dr. Frankenstein discovered how to reanimate dead corpses, but he has also discovered how to clone, apparently.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Damn.
you watch the
He's
embryo
making
growing.
breakthroughs, motherfucker.
I'm just saying, like, he's really, like, what is he doing? He's like, I made one monster and I don't need to do anymore. Like, dude, take your shit everywhere. But it's kind of like a la Young Frankenstein. Like,
yeah.
you know, you can tell people you did scientific shit, but if they're not performing for an audience, nobody fucking cares, all right?
What era is this set in, by the way?
The setting from the book, so I guess
Okay,
the,
so
like,
late 1800s?
1800s, yeah, around
Okay,
there.
mad
so.
science that time.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, because, like, you know, if it was a more modern setting, he could be like, yo, I can market this shit. I can sell this shit to the government.
Yeah.
I know how to raise the dead. You have super soldiers, and I know how to clone. So you have clones, and then you can raise the clones once they die in battle.
I will be honest. One of my biggest challenges, I look, the OG original, you know, Frankenstein, I appreciate,
Yeah.
but most of my exposure goes to my favorite Mel Brooks movie of all time, which is Young Frankenstein. So it's hard to watch movies like this because my main reference point will always be goddamn Young Frankenstein.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So Frankenstein, and you know, like, so it was a little bit of a challenge watching this, but oh yeah, so he storms off. So we go to a period of time has passed, and now Frankenstein has gotten married. He's like, all right, well, I'm married now, and yeah, we had that crazy shit with the monster, but he's long gone. He won't ever bother us. And he discovers the monster, comes back and fucking kills his woman. Literally murders his wife. He's like, all right, bitch, I saw what you did to my clone, bitch. Now your bitch is going. And kills Frankenstein's wife right after they got married. Like, they just got married. And like that, you know, the generic sequel tagline, you know, this time it's personal. That's the beat through this. The last like part of this movie is just this time it's personal. Also, this time it's personal. Where both the monster and Frankenstein are just like, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. And it's like this competition. So right after the monster's killed, fucking Frankenstein's woman, he like goes after him in this ridiculous chase scene, which again, Randy Quaid does not run very fast. So it really makes Frankenstein look like he just is really out of shape, because you should be able to catch him, man. It's Randy Quaid running away, okay?
Yeah, true.
But then it goes into, this is a like world bending like chase where Frankenstein is just hunting down this monster, and the monsters figure out ways to get to different parts of the world. And I guess I don't remember reading the book, but like this keeps going on till they're in Antarctica and stuff like that, and they're on dog sleds chasing each other, and I'm like,
yeah,
but I'm just like, this is fucking ridiculous. And again, if it's based on the book, that's fine, but you're watching like Randy Quaid monster like whipping dogs and like being, and this huge confrontation, you know, and eventually. I'll be honest, I don't know if I made it to the end, but I mean, it just follows the book pretty much. But that's like the last 40 minutes is where I was like, kind of enjoying this, because it was so ridiculous. Like I was waiting for the map, Indiana Jones map, where it's just like one line, which is the monster going to this location, and then another line of Frankenstein going there, and then another line, and because that's all the last part of the movie is like, where's that motherfucker? Like,
I must hunt down my creation.
And again, you get to the end where the monster's learning to talk more, so that's more Randy Quaid dialogue. And so you're like, God damn it, I know we're getting near the end of the movie, but could you just give me a little bit more of this ridiculous, like, you hurt me and I don't like you one bit. Like, it was up and down on like what the monster could say and couldn't say. It was
wow.
All
right.
It made me miss a little bit, because we don't really get any more Randy Quaid movies, and like, I don't know. And this is right, like, when I think about it, this is not that long after Christmas Vacation, and right before Independence Day,
right,
and stuff like that. So like, it's just kind of crazy. This movie that, I'll be honest, I'd never heard of before. And like, you dropped it off.
I'd never heard of it either.
And I was watching it, and I will say that I was like, the budget on this is like TV movie budget. Like I had flashes of like when I watched like The Stand and It, where you can just kind of tell that they're kind of pulling back a little bit from what a big studio would do. And I did a little research to find out, like, yes, it was a TBS movie that came out a year before the big Kenneth Branagh, like, actual theatrical release, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which I've never made it through that movie.
Oh, that movie is not great.
I will say this. I think Randy Quaid might have done, in a ridiculous way, a better job as the monster than Robert De Niro.
Well, I can say one thing. Robert De Niro is by far the superior actor, but he is under 6 feet.
Yeah.
And I don't care how much makeup and what angles you use, you are never going to convince me that he is a goddamn 7 foot tall giant.
Yeah.
Okay. And at least Randy Quaid is like 6'3" or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
You got something going on.
I didn't realize how big Randy Quaid was till a movie that I know is a beautiful disaster that we've never covered, and so many other people covered it. Pluto Nash, where Randy Quaid is the robot like helper for Eddie Murphy's character, and I was like, God damn, is he really that tall? Like, is he that big? Because he's supposed to be the muscle in that movie.
I remember him a lot from this Ron Howard movie called The Paper with Michael Keaton.
Yes, all
where
right.
He's like the crazy reporter that talks about like the traffic in the street or something, and he goes nuts and he has a pistol and shit but he just towers over Keaton in that movie because he's a tall motherfucker.
Yeah,
now
So casting wise, better as a monster than say De Niro. That's the one thing I never thought I would make a statement on is Randy Quaid did a better job than De Niro. Never thought that would happen. Now, I think if you were to put like Randy Quaid in Goodfellas or Cape Fear, probably that quality wouldn't happen.
It wouldn't work.
So yeah. I know I just breezed through it, but I mean it follows the same beats of Frankenstein. I was waiting for it to get kind of crazy. Maybe they go off, but again, I think they were like, okay, we're gonna make this movie. We're gonna keep it pretty close to the book. I will say, Frankenstein's brother being killed was something I forgot about because most of the movies don't really. They're like, not really that important.
Yeah. I mean, at least they did something different.
Because it seems like Frankenstein kind of blows that off. It's not till the monster kills his woman that it's like, motherfucker, like, oh, well, brothers, I mean, I saw him on a few holidays, shit like that. But when he kills his wife, he's like, motherfucker, man, really? My woman?
I just married her.
I know. What the fuck, dude? You know what century we're in? You can't have sex till after you're married. God damn it. Like, yeah, like there's a lot of build up. Again, he chases whatever money he had is going on flight or not flights, but just traveling through boats and shit like that to get to this motherfucker.
Right.
Like, you could just look for another female. I mean,
right.
Like, I'll be honest, you can't replace a brother. You might be able to replace a woman, but
that's true.
Not in his viewpoint. So,
well, I mean,
but yeah, I would say the top tier moment though is the Arctic battle with the sleds between the two of them is amazing. So,
all right.
Yeah, that's the high point of the ridiculousness of Frankenstein.
As I said, I bought it sight unseen and was like, oh, this is going to be a schlock abuse. And I'm going to give it to Hunter. And I literally unwrapped it before I brought it over, Yeah, I have not seen it. I was kind of surprised to, like, I didn't know what to make of it because, again, I thought I'd known most Frankenstein movies. And this one came out. I think that's the last one I saw was Mary Shelley's of what I saw of it. So, yeah. Well, hey.
Definitely, there's a production difference between the two.
Of course. So. I mean, something probably shot on 35 millimeter film, like Kenneth Branagh's, and then you have this, which is probably like really, I mean, the best quality what they had.
Yeah,
like I looked
up the director of this, and he's done nothing else you would ever really know. He's done some British stuff, but again, no other movies. I mean, you have Kenneth Branagh, and then David Wicks.
Okay, then.
And yeah, and David Wicks is like, yeah, he's done some UK productions, some TV movies.
TV.
Like, it was just one of those where you could just tell they're like, hey, can you work with this budget? He's like, yeah, I do that all the time. Like, all right, well, you're hired as director. There wasn't like, we looked at your prior films,
Yeah.
and your collection of work, and we feel like you would be the best person to direct Randy Quaid as the monster. They were just like, hey man, you'll do this with the money, right? Yeah, cool. All right. Where
All right.
Kenneth Branagh's like,
You got it.
yeah. Where Kenneth Branagh's like, I've done Shakespeare and I will do all this. Like, yes, Mr. Branagh, we understand that. This dude was just like, oh, I'll direct Randy Quaid as a monster. It's cool. So,
Fuck yeah, you will.
oh man.
All right, so that was the TV. 1993? You said
93.
93. Frankenstein.
After Christmas Vacation and before Independence Day. I'm just right there in the middle, man.
Hey man, you got to fill your resume out somehow, right?
Yep. Because here's the thing. I mean, there's several Randy Quaid movies I really like. Kingpin is one of my favorite comedies.
Parents, dude. Remember Parents?
Parents. That's late 80s, right?
I think that was late 80s.
Yeah.
That was amazing. That
Yeah.
was like a weird, and it was Bob Balaban directed that.
Really? No shit.
Yeah, dude, that movie's that's my favorite. If I was gonna get him to sign anything, I got a Parents poster, and I brought it to that one con he was gonna be at in New Jersey.
That's right. But
And
then
then
he
he-
mysteriously.
And then he canceled last minute because he had warrants that transferred to that state. Because I guess he's in trouble for
That's
all the
right.
things.
Well, because he was out of the country for a while.
He was.
And then I
yeah.
remember there was some random ass video of him wearing a Rupert Murdoch mask.
Yeah, he
fucking
went
his
insane.
girlfriend. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, "This is what you're doing. You're fucking everybody." I was like, "Is that's Uncle Eddie, right? Like that's."
Oh yeah, big beardy, insane. Yeah, he
Oh,
went-
and that's right. Yeah, and that now like he has the giant ass fucking beard.
Oh yeah.
Like, and that's if he had been Monster Mania, I was like, man, I hope he didn't shave. I want to see the fucking crazed wilderness man beard.
I
that
was
he had.
ready. I was ready to be there and get him to sign Parents. That poster looks great. It's a great flick. Yeah.
Hopefully
but-
he'll come to another con sometime, maybe in the future.
I don't know. Maybe he's at a point in his career where he's poised like Quentin Tarantino can bring him back,
Oh my God, yes.
That would be-
Tarantino loves a challenge. I mean,
He does.
dude, I don't remember Travolta was doing some shit movie. He was doing Luke Who's Talking 3
Oh yeah.
before Tarantino's like, how about I put you in Pulp Fiction? So, Mr. Tarantino, we have the biggest challenge of
That's
your
right.
career. Put Randy Quaid in your next movie, whatever it is.
I just read he's talking about possibly doing Kill Bill 3, so he can be like the estranged brother of
I
Bill.
was just about to say that. Like, you didn't know Bill had a brother? Ah! Like, yes, but he has to keep the beard, all right? Keep the beard to make it a little bit crazier, okay?
Yeah, my name's William, so it's Kill Will. No, that's
God.
stupid as fuck.
Oh, man.
All right, let's wrap this.
Let's wrap it
motherfucker
up.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, during Schlocktober, definitely check out all the different podcasts on the GUI network. I know your other show, In the Mouths of Madness, has been releasing gold,
Oh, yeah.
baby.
And when it's our time of year, I mean,
It
it's
is.
fucking horror season. I mean,
That's right. No, we've had some great episodes. There's a GUI episode coming up that I'm going to be on that is going to be everything. So just stay tuned. Check the ones that already have come out during October. Check the ones coming out for the rest of the month. It's going to be a ride. And as always, hit us up on social media. You can find us at Beautiful Disasters Podcast on Facebook. You can contact us directly at beautifuldisasterspodcast@gmail.com.
throw us out suggestions. Again, full lengths, things that you think are good, bad, beautiful disasters.
Oh, yeah.
Or schlock abuse that are suggestions what we should put on each other. So
Yeah, absolutely. And check out the website, guipodcast.com. There's links to Amazon and TeePublic, which both give us a little kickback for the podcast network.
yeah, run us that coin. All right. I mean, like
Hell yeah.
if you go on the link, we get a little bit back. Help us get some more shitty ass movies to
That's
make each other watch.
That's what we do. That's what we do here. So, yeah, for Beautiful Disasters, I've been the Grutz.
Have you, Hunter?
Thanks for listening.
Hey guys, Scotty Big Daddy Preston here. That's right, the Geek Father, asking you to join me here every other week with friends and family of the GUI Network as we go through all the trials and tribulations of being a geeky parent. So remember, join us or cry.
My name is Amy Bogard,
And I'm Mike the Hobbit.
and we are the hosts of Deeply Upsetting, where we use our expertise to answer your most upsetting hypothetical quandaries, such as, what non-winged animal deserves wings?
And what body part deserves a secret mouth?
Which cryptid is the worst roommate?
These questions and more that plague you will be answered on Deeply Upsetting, available anywhere you get your podcasts and at GUIPodcast.com.
GUIPodcast.com.